Before we jump into today's mailbag, Laker Nation, like this video if you want the purple and gold to make a trade. One step forward, two steps back. That's been the theme of this season. So if you think the Lakers should make a move, like this video. And with that being said, we'll go ahead and jump on into today's show. You're watching the Lakers Report by Chat Sports. I'm your host, Harrison Graham. Appreciate everybody tuning in here on your weekend. Hope you're having a great weekend. I certainly am. Appreciate all you guys submitting your questions as well. So we'll go ahead and get started with those right now. Let's start with Marquise sending in this question. Do you see the Lakers getting Bradley Beal? So Bradley Beal is a guy that I think could get traded because he has a player option for next year, and there's been growing rumors that he could opt out and sign elsewhere. So if the Wizards are worried about that, they might just trade him. However, from the Lakers side of things, they can't get Beal without trading Russell Westbrook because that's simply too much money on their books to bring on Bradley Beal. So you got to find a way to move on from Russell Westbrook if you want to bring in Beal, who was ironically Russ's teammate a year ago in Washington. Now you look at Beal's last 2 years, his productivity has certainly dipped this year, down 8 points per game. The efficiency has gone down as well, just shooting 30% from three-point range this year. Now, that doesn't mean that Bradley Beal all of a sudden is a bad player or something like that, but he's certainly not having the kind of season he's been accustomed to having. Will the Lakers make a splash at the NBA trade deadline? And Bradley Beal would certainly suffice. Type Y for yes. Type in for no. Let us know what you guys think down in the comment section. Keep it moving here with EDM. Are the Lakers making a Buddy Hield trade? Buddy Hield would fit on this team tremendously. You look at his three-point shooting over the last several years, 7th in the NBA back in 2017 and 18. The efficiency has certainly dipped a little bit, but the volume has also gone up. Very, very high in recent years. I mean, he takes over 10 threes a game just about. Plus, he'd get better looks with the Lakers than he does with Sacramento. A Buddy Hield trade, as most of you guys know, was on the table last summer. They traded for Russ instead. I mean, we thought Buddy Hield was coming to LA, which I would have loved. Instead, they swung for the fences for Russell Westbrook, and they struck out, at least up to this point. So, we'll see what happens. Russ has certainly played a little bit better as of late, but again, it's hard to absorb Buddy Hield's contract without moving a couple of contracts around. Maybe you don't have to move Russell Westbrook to get Buddy Hield, but it's going to be pretty tricky with how the salary cap works. Hield has not played well as of late, by the way. He's been struggling in recent contests, shooting under 30% from the field, 23.3% from three-point range. So maybe his trade value is 5% less than what it was 2 weeks ago, but the Kings aren't just going to trade him for nothing. This is how it goes with shooters. They go through hot and cold spells, but I would still like Buddy Hield in the purple and gold, and I think that's what they should have done last offseason, but they opted for Russell Westbrook. I'll tell you what, if you want the best Lakers coverage on YouTube, online, we have you covered. Hit that subscribe button and turn on your notifications. Once you sub, you hit that noti bell, boom, you're going to get notified once we publish a video. And if the Lakers make a trade, we'll have you covered here on the Lakers Report. Keep it moving here with Kenny Jenkins. Who can the Lakers trade for? I think the Lakers are going to be in the minor trade market, bench depth, maybe a fringe starter type. But the guys we've been talking about, Buddy Hield, Bradley Beal, I just don't see that happening for LA unless you find a way to move on from Russell Westbrook. And I think that's going to be difficult. I think they'll certainly try. I think they'll certainly be active at the deadline. But, be looking at I'm trying to even think of like a name. I think Jeremy Grant's too rich. I mean, cheaper 3-and-D guys. I mean, that's what I would be looking at if I was Los Angeles. I think a minor move or two is probably what I would expect if I was a Lakers fan. Do you want the Lakers to make a move? Type me if you do. I think they need to. Type me in the comments if you want the Lakers to make a move. They need a spark somewhere, so I'm typing my me right now. Eric Castilla, is THT's time with the Lakers running out? I don't know if it's running out, but you look at kind of the progression here, and obviously he took a big leap from year one to year two. He had a really solid year last year, which is why they were hesitant to trade Talen Horton-Tucker for Kyle Lowry at the deadline a year ago. Now, you look at the numbers this year, it's about the same, but the efficiency has dipped. LA expected a bigger jump. And if anything, he's regressed a bit. Now, I'm not going to say he's had some huge regression. The efficiency isn't quite as good, but it's not like he's fallen off a cliff. He's still having an okay year. But when you keep him and don't trade for Kyle Lowry, you're expecting him to continue to improve year in and year out. And that has not happened this year. It doesn't mean it can't happen in the future. It doesn't mean it won't happen over the next few years. But I do think that the Lakers would have to at least consider making him available in a trade if they can get more of a win now asset. Now, Lakers fans, Valentine's Day is just around the corner. If you want to hook up your girl, we got a couple of t-shirts available for you guys at chatsports.com/Lakers V-Day. Keep your girl happy and stay out of the doghouse because you don't want to be the guy who's missing out on a Valentine's Day present. Chatsports.com/Lakers V-Day. That link will be in the comments and in the description of this video. That way we make it easy for you guys. You just click and shop today. Mary Lamb next up here. We got a couple more. Does LeBron's knee injury worry you at all? We might need heavy minutes in the second half of the season. It absolutely does. And something we've seen from LeBron as he's having a fantastic season, but something we've seen from LeBron since he's joined the Lakers is the injuries have started to pop up. There's been some real issues, not, catastrophic major injuries, but he's missed real games. He's, missing some games right now, which obviously doesn't help the Lakers' cause as they try to move up in the Western Conference standings, but you need him out there. He's been tremendous. But you have to monitor his health and have him, as healthy as possible come playoff time. But you have to balance all of that while trying to win games. So I'm absolutely concerned. I'm not panicking. It's not like he has a torn ACL, but he's 37 years old, man. I mean, he's not getting any younger. A lot of mileage on those knees. So, I'd be interested to see how Frank Vogel balances that throughout the rest of the season as he's currently dealing with swollen knees. Are you concerned with LeBron's injury? Scale it from 1 to 10. I'm like a 7 or 8, man, because we've seen this last couple of years. He is not Iron Man anymore, a guy that plays 80-plus games a year. I mean, that just has not been the case. So, yeah, I'm concerned. He's getting older. When he's healthy, I know what I'm getting. I'm getting still maybe the best player in the league, but he hasn't been healthy quite often enough. Simon here, can Shaq teach the Lakers coach how to use two true centers, big men, and DeAndre Jordan and Dwight Howard? You can't play two bigs that don't shoot. This is not, 1995 NBA anymore where you can just physically bully teams down low with two bigs. That's just not how the game is played. Sure, you can have one big that doesn't shoot the ball from the outside, but older bigs that don't shoot, they don't age well in this league. I mean, it's just not where the league is. It's not where it's going. Both those guys can still have a role on this team, especially Dwight Howard, but playing them together, that's just, you want to talk about spacing killer. That's not how you get open shots. It's not how you score points offensively. So, yeah, I don't want to completely, just rain on your parade there, but that is just not how things shape out in today's NBA anymore. I appreciate all the questions. If you want to be on our next mailbag video, use hashtag Lakers to get your questions in. We'll see if we get to one before the trade deadline. If not, we'll get to some more after the trade deadline, which is coming next Thursday. So stay in the loop for that as well and subscribe because we'll have you covered if anything happens with Laker Nation.